Good morning and welcome to the Big and Loud Adventures. So I went to a architectural salvage place and I got some granite countertops for the lodge, and I'm going to kind of show you what I'm going to do to put them in. This one here is a long angle one that I got, and it doesn't quite fit what I need, but I wanted this color. I got this one because it's a bigger island piece that I got, and this was part of it, and since I could use it in another area of the room, hopefully I got it because that way you can match, because you know, it's in the same room, so having the same color granite would be nice. The problem with this one is you can see how there's a really long area here, then the short area. The long area is too long. So we're gonna have to cut that down, and then I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna cover the ends, because I'm not gonna polish them. I'm gonna have to put some, I'm gonna put walnut on the end, on the unfinished sides, on both sides of this long angle counter, and then around three sides of the island. I think it'll look good because it will give me the overlip of the island, so you can have like seating underneath it, and then this will just kind of tie it together. What we got to do first is we got to walk inside, and I'll show you where we're going to be putting it, and I'm starting to build out the frame. I started a little bit without you because, well, that's just what I did. So the lighting in here isn't perfect, but you can see it's going to go in this corner here. So this is going to be like basically where you put all your liquor, a bar, but it's not going to really be a bar. And then behind you can see is our axe throwing lane. So it'll go here where I got this part up here, and then over here is going to be the other side. And this side over here along the mesh wall, the screen, is going to have to be 3 pieces epoxied together. So that's going to be a process as well that we're going to learn together. I say we because I have no idea and you're going to watch me do it. So I got that a little bit of a support built out already. What I'm going to show you now is I'm going to build out the rest of this support, and then we'll cut the granite down to fit in this area here, and then we'll figure out how we're going to glue it all together. So we're going to get at it. I'm going to show you the sizes I cut on this. So you can see in the back corner there's a 6x6. I'm going to have to notch the post around, and then there's also the little area up here where it goes into over the ledge of the wall that was built there. So we're going to have to notch that out. So this here, the width of this, I'll put arrows in there, is the granite that I have is 25 inches deep. So I framed this out at 23¼ inches. That will give me space for a 3/4 inch face and still have a 1 inch reveal of the granite on the front. That'll make it look pretty nice. So we're going to be figuring out how to do that over there, and then we'll figure out what supports I need to put underneath it to make it actually support it temporarily, because eventually I'm going to build cabinetry or something to go underneath there. And over here, there's going to be a cold air intake to go to the outside wood burning furnace out in the garage. So I need to build the support for the longer side of the granite that we're going to be putting in there. And I have to make a 69-inch, 23¼ inch box, basically rectangle. And so I cut all these to 16. The long one's 16 inches. The short ones are at 20¼ So plus the 3 inches would be 23¼ We're going to lay this out so that we have it laid out in there. I'm going to lay it out on a standard 16-inch on center, because that's what I kind of do for everything. And I'll show you how to do that, because when you do it, it's pretty easy. You just bring your tape measure out and lay it out as far as possible. And so when traditionally you would move the tape to 3/4 inch, I'm too lazy to do that. So what I do is when I'm laying it out, I just add 3/4 inch to it, so it'd be 16 3/4. Then I mark. And if you do it with the plates set up like this, your speed square is long enough to reach over 2 2x4s. So it's 7 inches long. So you just mark it. And what's nice about that is, you know, since you butted the ends, that they're all going to be with each other, and you're putting X's on it. So that's how you lay out the measurements. There'll be one on the end too. So there'll be one on each end, and 1, 2, 3, 4 in the middle. So I didn't make enough. So there'll be, this one's not going to happen because it's close enough. So there'll be 2 on the end and 3 in the middle. So this is me assembling the box, for better words for it. If you like this video and you want to see more content like this, please give me a subscribe. Keeps the channel going, and also shows that I'm actually doing something people actually like to see. I appreciate you watching. Thank you. I didn't tell you before, but I took a laser level and I leveled to make sure this was level, and then this side is level as well. So to make this supposedly level is I'm going to anchor this side up along there, and that'll should be level. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hold this up and mount it to this wall. And this lumber I have isn't the truest either, so we're going to have to probably manipulate it a little bit. Now this is higher than regular counter height. I don't remember if I actually made it counter stool height or whatever, but it'll work because I have stools. It's kind of, I think, where I arbitrarily made it so that that screen looked the best in here. So that's supported. I don't think it's strong enough to hold the granite itself, so we're going to be putting some supports down for now. Okay, so I added 2 supports, one there and one there. Now we're going to see if it should be holding strong enough to hold it. So I'm pretty heavy, probably more than that thing weighs at least per square foot. So if it can hold me, I think we're okay. So now I have to figure out where I need to cut the slab out there. So I have to cut this length, and then I have to cut that 6x6 out of the center. You'll notice that I did make this the regular length, so there's going to have to be something put back here. I'm thinking I might make so I can peel a log and stack a log back there, because I think I want to make one that goes all the way down the ledge there, because the ledge goes past that. And I think it'll end up looking pretty good. And then it'll also kind of, I can make a cap over top of the counter, because I'm sure the edge of it's got chips on it, because this is a used countertop. So I'm sure there's chips all over it, and I don't really want to clean it up. So that's what we're going to work on now. And the next thing is I'm going to figure out the measurements now that I moved you over here. So this is going to be, it's a 6x6, so it's 5.5 by 5.5. I'll end up cutting it at 5 3/4. That way I have a little bit of play, because I'm not accurate with stuff like this. So the only one I really need to figure out is the overall length from the back to here, how far I want it to be. I want there to be I wanted to split this board here. No, I don't think I want to do that. So I got to think, because I want to put a piece of walnut here, and I wanted that to be supported. So I think what I may do is put another backer board here, and we'll have the granite stop on the inside of that. So that would give me 1.5 inches. So that give me 2 inches. That'd be perfect. So we're going to cut this at 50.5 inches. And then I'm going to get a board to put in here. So 50.5 inches is what we have to cut it at. This is I have to cut it 50.5 inches from this corner. With it being black, I don't know what I'd be able to mark it with. So I'm going to put down masking tape for the first part. So I just want to get an area where 50.5 inches would be. It's right about there. And we're going to put down a row of masking tape so I can see the mark. And then, because my thought is once I get it, I can just etch it. It would be able to see it after that, because I think if you scratch the stone, it'll be okay. Now this should be actually square, but I don't always trust drywall squares, so that's why I have the 3 marks. Because yeah, that's square, but not my square, so that's not square. Well, so we're gonna play with as if this is square, because this far side isn't square. So we're gonna go off of my C-square, or my drywall square. Like I said, this is a used granite top, so it's probably was cut to fit whatever wall they had. And I'm going to, it'll still work, because the side over there doesn't have to, because I have that 3.5 inches that I was going to cover up with a log. So this will work. So there's our line, and then I'm going to go get my tools. And I've never cut granite before like this, so you're going to learn with me on how this works. With safety glasses. Now that I got it scored, I'm going to try to make a more cut, but I want to make it so I can spray water on it. So I got these water bottles. I'm going to poke a hole in the top so they turn into squirters. And that should make it a little bit better. So wish me luck, and here we go. That actually wasn't as bad as I thought. I don't know how clean a cut it was yet, but we're going to find out together because I'm going to clean it off right now. Well, wipe it off. I'll have to come back with a better rag and clean it up better. That'll do, because like I said, then I'm going to put something on the edge here anyway. I did see that there's a way that you can get a polishing compound and make it all pretty and stuff, and I may have to do that in some other parts, but for this, I think it'll be okay. So the next part I'm going to have to do, so on this corner, we have to cut out that 6 3/4 by 6 3/4. So I'm going to cut an area idea where that would be, which would be about there. And as I just learned, this side is not square to this side, so we're going to go off of this being our square edge because I can kind of play with that side. 5 3/4. So the corner is going to be my corner. That's going to be true. And then if I come off of this, that'll be the correct angle. And then we find 5 3/4. And then we're going to kind of cheat and do it this way because it's what I got. I don't have a framing square here. I just have a speed square. And I'm giving myself a 1/4 inch play anyhow, so that should work. So I got to cut out this and this and try not to overcut it too bad. If I do overcut it, I might put a piece of trim up there to match the log style that I'm putting around the other part. It's probably what I am going to do. So I'm not going to worry so much about overcutting. That will probably make it easier to cut all the way through. So I'll put you on a time lapse and we're going to pop this one out. You got to go to left, or sorry, my left. Go close that with your foot. Okay, I may have to get that drywall out because this side is not parallel. Well, it's not. Yeah, so I'll just cut that drywall out. That's what I need. Thank you, sir. So because the back walls for wherever I got this from were not perpendicular, I have to take out this drywall here so that I can shove this tight right here. I should have enough play here where it can go past it. So I think if I just take out the 1/2 inch of drywall, it'll make it a lot tighter than what it is right now. So that's what we're going to work on now. I'm going to mark out the line here, and then I'll move this over and I'll get rid of that and I'll get you back. Okay, so you can see I showed you I started to cut it nice and neat with a razor knife. I didn't have my I don't know, that vibratory buzzer thingy here, so I just hit it with a hammer because I got impatient. It's fine because I'm going to put another piece of siding like this here, or I'm going to figure out something to cover around. I haven't quite decided, but I'll figure it out. So that way it looks like it's all log siding there. I'll probably end up putting a few more pieces of the log siding over there. Not sure, but we'll figure that out as we go along. But it looks pretty good. I'm tight against that wall all the way across. I left the reveal here that I wanted so that when I put a piece of walnut on here, I'll be able to make it look real nice, and I'll probably put a piece of live edge there. On this side, this is the next step. I'm going to move you over here. We got to put the other two pieces here. I'm just going to set them up there for now because I have to go do some research on how you're supposed to glue this down. I'm not sure exactly what type of glue we use for that, but we'll figure that out and then we'll go from there. And then, yeah, so that's the next step. I know normally people wouldn't put three little sections like this in a row because, well, it kind of looks funny, but it's what I have. It's what I was able to get at a pretty decent rate, so that's why we're gonna do it. Oh, my measurements were off, way off. Okay, so that's roughly what they're gonna look like. I just got to figure out what I got to do here. I think it's gonna have to be shimming up the back to bring this level. So we're gonna do a little research on YouTube and figure that out. With cutting the island, I have it all leveled out now, and I have these seams because I have three pieces here. I'm going to, I bought some epoxy, and I'll show it to you in a second, and I'm gonna put some epoxy in there. To warm it up, basically all I do is I put really hot water in a storage container, and then I have these little bottles of, this is a JB Weld, clear weld. It's a 5-minute epoxy. I use this instead of, I'm trying it, I've never used it before. I'm using this instead of the normal epoxy that I use for like woodworking, because it's a 5-minute, so it's not quite as thin, so hopefully it won't make as big of a mess. So it's a 1-to-1. You take equal parts of the A and the B and mix them up for a minute according to the directions. We'll get through that and I'll show you how I'm going to put it in there. Okay, so this is the same crack. I just put some tape on it to help me kind of clean it up. So I mixed up the epoxy for the minute and I let it sit for a few seconds. The reason why you warm it up is because it seems to flow a lot better when you warm it up. It also mixes a little bit better. So I'm going to slowly try to pour it in this crack, and then I'll scrape it in better because this is kind of getting everywhere. It's pretty cracked. So I just used, this is just a plastic shim, and I kind of scraped it off so that it was semi-flush. I'm gonna let that set up for another probably minute. Then I'm gonna pull the tape and hopefully it looks good. Well, so we got some in there. I'm gonna let it set up some more. Then I'll take a razor. I'll scrape it down a little bit. With it being set down like that, what I may do, I got this black caulk, and I may just put that on top and let it because then I can cut that and make it smooth. This is a learning experience for me. I've never done this, so like everything else I'm doing on this channel lately, it looks good so far. So I'm gonna do the other one. I let that epoxy that we use, that supposedly a 5-minute epoxy, I let it cure for about an hour and a half. It's pretty solid now. I retaped seams here, and I'm going to use this White Lightning. It's a black siliconized acrylic latex. So we're going to try it. Like I said, this is the best I know how to do. I am not a professional at this at all, and that should be pretty obvious. If you want to look professional, you should probably hire a professional. I I want to look as best I can. So um, that being said, this is me trying to figure out what I can do. So we're gonna try this, and hopefully it looks okay, and you guys like it, and we'll go from there. Well, it's not good color, but it's the only color I can find. So I guess it'll just look like grout. So it's been set up for a few minutes. So I'm gonna peel the tape, and hopefully it's satisfying and leaves a pretty and a nice clean line. So we're going to. So maybe it'll dry darker. I doubt it. I'll let you know if it does. But even if it doesn't, it kind of just looks like a grout line, so I'm not too upset about it. I'll let this cure for at least probably till tomorrow morning, which would be about 16 hours or so, and then I'll clean it up real good. And then I'll show you what it looks like. So the countertops are all installed now. The caulk that I put in here, it kind of just makes it look like a grout line, so I'm okay with that. But these being a kind of extra slab that came with the big island slab that I bought, I'm pretty happy with it. No big errors in this one. I don't really messed up anything other than the fact that I mixed too much of that epoxy. I mixed 50 milliliters of each at one point, so 100 milliliters, and it ended up overheating, and then it kind of gets really super hot and then clumps up real bad. So I scraped all that off before it got too hard. Other than that, everything worked out pretty good in this one. Once again, this is not a how to do this because I don't know how to do this. I just kind of put some crap up here and hopefully it looks good. If you want it to look better, I would suggest hiring somebody. I want to thank you for watching this. I truly appreciate everybody who watches it. We're doing pretty good right now. Thank you for watching again. May God bless you and have a great day.